satire. Yeah. That's diamond sales, like sapphires, rat buyers, admires, peg lines of admirers. Now they say you lack ire. That's why your satire backfires. Flat tires no longer that
oh
guy
my
you
gosh. Hi everyone, it's Blue. Make sure you like and subscribe and go follow me on my Twitch and my other YouTube channel. Those links are down below. Also my Patreon, where I have more content on there that I don't post here.
No, you are just in time. Oh, this is incredible.
Well, maybe not all the way.
God, this is too much.
Oh, you see. Oh, there that goes.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez.
Today I'm going to be reacting to Eminem's new song, Guilty Conscience 2.
Oh, we did it now.
I know, right? It's beautiful, ain't it?
Yeah, you happy now, bitch?
Yup.
Alright, you got what you wanted.
Yeah. What?
Let me go.
Stop. Never.
Why does it feel like I'm always being tortured? The bad apple spoils the whole orchard. Used to
I like that, kind of opening a little simple, but the lines back and forth make it sound like he's being kidnapped, and he's kind of rationalizing with let him go. So it's just a progression in the story of his album of being kidnapped and it escalating the situation with Slim Shady and Eminem.
Used to read comic books to learn more words, cause deep down I'm a dork, just the core nerd. Meaning nerd to the core, till I'm cornered. Then I'm the coroner. What shot is this? First, second?
It's your third.
Vision is more blurred, speech is more slurred.
A subtle detail that I like how it's your third comes in from a different ear. So it's like he's like whispering in your ear, or maybe you're Slim Shady and you're listening to him saying, hey, it's your third. So it just kind of feels a little bit more uncomfortable. But the rest of that was a good play on words because he keeps going in to core nerd, but then he says cornered, like he's cornered and backed into a corner and doesn't have a lot of options. But then now he's also saying coroner. So he's doing that thing that we keep mentioning, so I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but he keeps doing it, where he's using the same word sounds, but he'll sometimes split it up and make them have different meanings because they actually are different definitions of the words that he's using with the context.
Vision is more blurred, speech is more slurred. Can't even form words. It's like a dream up inside of a dream. I'm trapped in this worse than I could have imagined. It's madness. Can't wake up, try my damnedest, but old habits are coming back. And now transgenders attack us frontwards and backwards. They laugh and throw midgets at us.
More transgender lines with frontwards and backwards. That actually kind of makes me think that it's a little clever because with, maybe it's a reach, but with transgenders and transitioning, it makes me think that he's doing the same thing with his words, saying backwards and frontwards, because he's switching the words around. So maybe that's what he's doing.
They laugh and throw midgets at us.
This ain't no dream now, huh? See what I mean now? You see how they're trying to make me out to be some kind of mean, vile, obscene, foul prick? I kick one freestyle by beating down a special needs child, and these people freak out.
Notorious for having the most outrageous lines, saying things like the reference to small people. I don't want YouTube to come for me. And then beating up a special needs child. I don't think a lot of people, has anyone, I'm sure someone has, but not a lot of people have ever said that. Also, I really like the freestyle mean vile rhyme scheme because it's kind of peppered throughout there. They're not really at the end or at the beginning, but you can still hear it, especially with his delivery. It's kind of unique, so you hear it. It's just hard to go back and read because it doesn't look like it forms a pattern. It's just kind of peppered throughout. Oh, and also another detail is his voice kind of changed. It almost sounded like that time that he had said for a second, it's your third. It almost sounded like he was in one of your ears to me, but now it kind of sounds, it's more over the radio almost. And I think that it's because he changed characters. It's Slim Shady now. Because he sounds also just more aggressive, but he sounds like he's coming in through like a radio or an intercom almost.
These people freak out.
Told you we get slaughtered for saying retarded.
Oh, Marshall's getting no conscience. This may come as a shock. I have you astonished regardless. Here's the thing about retarded people.
What?
They don't fucking know they're retarded.
Well, no.
I love that he's having an actual conversation back and forth with Slim Shady and Marshall, because a lot of the times I think that he'll talk about his conversations and reflections about what the other one thinks while he's the other character, but this one you actually hear the different voices or how he sounds and different tones even. One of them's coming in from it at a completely different angle, like, oh, I don't know, or I knew that I would get in trouble for this. Meanwhile, the other one's kind of almost getting upset with him. Like, hey, you want to know the weird thing about people who are this? They don't know that they're this. So they're arguing in the song.
Well, okay, you want a fat shame, bitch. Two can play that game.
What?
You want to judge people.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, ain't you the same one who hated bullies calling you bad names?
Yep.
Then you turn around and did the exact same.
So?
Just immature and literally.
Yeah, I really like this. It's really simple and easy to follow, which is nice because sometimes Eminem has some stuff that I have to even wonder what is he saying. So yeah, they're just arguing with each other. Marshall is calling Eminem. Marshall is calling Slim Shady out for, okay, well, aren't you actually being a hypocrite? You really like bullying others? Weren't you the one who complained about being bullied? And you even hear Slim in the background saying, yep, that's exactly right. Like he's just kind of, yeah. No, man, you are on it. Agreeing to him in the background, almost like a cartoon character. Meanwhile, he's kind of addressing when he is and isn't this character. Marshall saying, yeah, I'm actually not necessarily coming off as like the good guy, but there's a clear difference between him having, is that too far? Did I hurt people's feelings? Maybe this is okay because people are just sensitive, and maybe this isn't okay because this is actually wrong. Whereas Slim Shady is almost always on the side of, no, I'm going to say literally whatever I want. People are just too sensitive.
So just immature and literally you're still mentally 13 and so thirsty for some controversy. You're still picking on Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, but you're me and we're a team, so that means we're in cahoots. That's conspiracy to commit murder. Lyrically, so clearly, you're the accessory, like jewelry. You ain't the
That's clever. I like that he did that. You're an accessory to murder, but an accessory like you are to jewelry. And also, Slim in this area kind of is calling out Marshall, because whereas Marshall is saying, didn't you not really like it when people did this to you? All the stuff that I already just said. Now Slim's kind of coming around to saying, oh, it's really convenient to say that we're the same person. You created me. You own Slim Shady because you're this creative, great artist. But whenever you get in trouble, you then just don't claim me. You act like, oh, it was this persona's fault, or it wasn't me as a real person, that was just a character I was playing.
You're the accessory, like jewelry. You ain't the judge of the jury, you're just as guilty.
You rip on paraplegics, man, seriously?
Oh, bitch, it's a joke.
No, it's not, it's embarrassing.
What?
Like David Carradine found with a pair of jeans at his ankles and belt round his larynx.
I know it's a scary scene. They're coming with everything. Little people are trolling me. They're saying they've had it.
Well.
Up to here with me.
Oh, hilarity.
Come on.
It's funny because in the same line of Slim coming after Marshall by saying, okay, well, you know, if you're really upset with me for saying this, you're kind of an accessory to murder because you're responsible for me. We're the same person. He's also kind of getting him to admit and say things that he was accusing Slim Shady of, which is being out of pocket. Because he's saying, yeah, it's just really embarrassing that you make fun of paraplegics. Like, that's embarrassing. Marshall's saying that to Slim. But then in the same breath, he ends up also saying, oh, it's almost as bad as doing this. And he's kind of making fun of other people. And he's like, yeah, no, I agree. That one time that guy did that thing, that's embarrassing. And now they're kind of coming together and you're seeing the similarities. Yeah, you're the same person.
Little people are trolling me. They're saying they've had it.
Well.
Up to here with me.
Oh, hilarity.
Come on.
Nah, do your thing. Fuck deaf
Oh.
people. Yeah.
Well, between me and you,
I think they've had it up to here with me, too. What the fuck?
Right whenever they're starting to reason with each other, saying, yeah, like that one guy who did this thing that was embarrassing, and they're kind of like, you can see the similarities of where the line isn't crossing because they both agree with it. You then quickly see where the lines cross between Marshall and Slim, because Slim just made fun of how deaf people sound when they speak, and Marshall's response was, what are you doing? What do you, no, stop. As if that's crossing the line. It's the jokey, cartoony character type things. It's like right over the just dissing people that I think he's separating himself as Marshall. He'll come for people. He'll say things that are out of pocket. But Slim takes it further where he'll just do the extra animated crazy stuff.
sorry I'm not perfect as you, Marshall.
Punching down on little people?
Yeah.
Not cool.
Well,
You just
Punching
sound like
down?
a dick.
Wait, nah, fool.
What?
When I say fuck midgets, I mean Ja Rule.
Oh.
And I know that Chris Reed song.
I was sitting here thinking, oh darn, I forgot to say that. I forgot to mention this. It's almost like I'm missing a bunch of things. Not because I'm missing them, but because I'm not saying them. And I think the reason is because they keep pausing right after he says something that gets more of my attention, like the Ja Rule line. Oh, when I say I mean Ja Rule. So that just draws more attention. But he is doing a lot of really clever things with, sorry, but the whole little people stuff, because he right here just said punching down on little people, because clearly he would punch down because they're not taller than him. So yeah, and then there was another line that he was clever with earlier, a few stops ago. They've had it up to here, as in they're really fed up with him, but he's clearly doing another short joke because he's saying they've had it up to here. So you can imagine him making a joke and saying, what, like up to here? Because, so that was the other line.
And I know that Chris Reed's song was recorded in 2004 for Encore.
Yeah?
Fuck you take it off for?
Cause he died.
Man, that motherfucker did that bullshit on purpose to ruin the song for us. Man, I never seen it.
How petty and funny is it to think of Slim actually telling Marshall, man, you're ridiculous. He just died so we couldn't put it. You know, he just did that to spite you. He died to spite you so you couldn't feel justified to put the song on your album.
Man, I never seen a bigger pussy than you.
Bitch, look at all the shit the media's putting me through.
What?
Cause of all the fuck shit that you pushed me to do.
Me?
Shoulda knew when I found you, you were just too good to be true. That's how we end up in these quagmires. You said you had my back, liar.
But I helped you get your stacks higher.
Yeah.
That's diamond sales like sapphires, rat buyers, admirers, peg lines of admirers. Now they say you lack ire. That's why your satire backfires, flat tires, no longer that
Oh
guy
my
you were prior
gosh,
to this.
so good. I haven't really been able to talk about the rhyme schemes as much in the song because it's a little bit more of a conversation and maybe just more about the meaning and the stuff that he's trying to convey. But now he's playing a little bit more with the words, along with calling him out. Slim Shady's going back at Marshall saying, oh, well, once again, it's really convenient to act like I'm the reason why society hates you, but you love me when you get these platinum record, sapphire, diamond sales, right? Because this song was a hit because of me. This music video was great because of me. People aren't saying, who's that? Slim Shady. It's Slim Shady, not, oh, who's that? Who's Marshall? Like, he's kind of calling him out on all of these things that really pushed you over the edge was actually due to Slim Shady. Not all of your sad music that was about Marshall or Eminem. It was me. I mean, it's actually probably for Eminem kind of taking it easy right here because it's only maybe 2-syllable rhyme schemes. Lack ire, backfires, stacks higher, sapphires, admires, buyers, all of those. But because there's just so many, it doesn't feel like he's taking it easy or simple. This is just kind of simple for him. But he's saying a thing that makes sense, which is appreciated. He's not just saying words. I think people accuse him of that a lot, and he probably has done that a lot because he's just having fun. But it's appreciated here because it's pretty intricate. It's just simple for him. Now they say you lack ire. That's why your satire backfires. I think he's calling him out for saying, see, when you actually try to separate yourself from the persona of Slim Shady, it just kind of backfires and doesn't really work. You then say things that people get offended by because it was just not really the right delivery. Almost like a comedian making a joke and then somebody trying to repeat the joke and it just doesn't land well. And their excuse would be, well, the comedian said it. And it's like, yeah, but maybe it's just not for everyone. Maybe you just didn't say the right word. Maybe it was bad timing. People just didn't like it. And he's kind of saying, you need me. I let you get away with saying things that nobody else can and not getting canceled for it. And whenever you try to separate yourself from me and you try to do this satire bit and act like you're not just being out of pocket, people actually don't really like it. It doesn't land well.
That's why your satire backfires, flat tires, no longer that guy you were prior
That's why
to
you're
this.
sat-
Yeah, and I scare you cause I'm who you used to be.
Who?
The you who didn't crumble under the scrutiny.
What?
When it was you and me.
Yeah.
I gave you power to use me as an excuse to be evil.
I know.
I like that the voices are coming together because it sounds like he did on I'm Pretty Sure Evil. And so it's just, oh, it makes so much sense. That's the voice of Slim, that's the voice of Marshall. And then you put them together and it's Eminem. So I think that how they did that was really well because I didn't really see that coming. And it relates to other songs where he sounded just like that. Like, oh, you just had that sound on those other songs. And it's actually just those two voices of the characters put together, which is, well, not characters. Marshall is the genuine person, and then Slim is the character alter ego, and you put them together and it makes Eminem.
I know you created me to say everything you didn't have the balls to say. What you were thinking, but in a more diabolic way. You fed me pills in a bottle of alcohol a day.
Okay.
Made me too strong for you and lost control of me.
You're right.
I took over you totally. You were socially awkward till you molded me.
Yeah, he's really going in. He's kind of just... You're just hearing all of the demons that Eminem has been kind of thinking about probably for the last several years. It's almost as if he thought Slim Shady was getting too strong. He was going too far with his thing. Just being too offensive to people. fed me pills and a bottle of alcohol a day, made me too strong for you and lost control of me. I took over you totally. So actually, I think it's because Slim is calling Marshall out for not being able to cope with the world because he's normally just socially awkward. He can't deal with the criticism of people. Whatever it is that he's calling him out for, he takes drugs and pills to kind of get away from that and cope. But the drugs and pills actually make the Slim Shady side more powerful. So whenever he's like that, because Slim Shady's more powerful, he might sell even better record deals, might make better music, but he's going to be really out of pocket and do things that Marshall later will somehow feel bad for and blame Slim for. When Slim's saying, but you did this, you created me, I'm actually even who you used to be. You're taking these pills and drinking this alcohol to get away from something, but you're making me stronger. And then you go right back to not being able to cope with society when you're sober, and then you blame me for it.
You was a loner or nobody, cause of me you didn't take shit from nobody. Now look at you, what? Now you're just a punk, little scaredy cat.
Word?
Got you shook like Shakira's ass.
Yeah.
So look at your reflection staring back, bitch. It's just a mirror, relax.
Man, you're so full of shit. You need Miralax. Open your mouth and shit flies.
Okay, good thing he immediately explained what that was. I mean, it says it in the name, Miralax. You can kind of just assume laxative. And then he says you open your mouth and flies out. It's so funny. I almost just barely missed that, but I rewind, I would have caught it. I'm just happy that I heard it right before I paused because that was a really funny line. Also, earlier I noticed that Slim was kind of just like, yeah, I do that. You're right. And I only just now noticed that M's actually in the background, or Marshall's in the background too, kind of agreeing while Slim Shady's going off as well. So even though they're arguing and kind of coming at each other's throats, while the other one's telling them and calling them out for stuff, the other one's in the background agreeing to it.
Just lies, you thinking you can whip my ass, undo these zip ties. You can just undo my feet and keep my hands tied, cause like an avalanche I'd still win by a landslide.
That's so good. You can undo my feet and keep my hands tied because like an avalanche, I'd still win by a landslide. So good. But it sounds like Eminem's the one who's tied up. So I'm assuming either a lot of the album, Eminem's the one who's struggling, and then maybe at the end, it's Slim Shady who's the death, like Slim Shady dies, or if it's kind of actually a joke and we're all being lured in by Slim Shady because it's called the death of Slim Shady, but we're actually all being tricked, or it's just misleading on purpose because clearly it's Slim Shady killing Eminem or killing Marshall. Maybe that's the bit, is it's not actually literally about the death of Slim Shady. I don't know, now I think I'm just thinking too much into it.
And I'd still win by a landslide.
Oh, you think so, bitch?
Yeah, I know so.
Okay, your hands and feet, I let them both go. Yeah, something else.
Give me that gun.
No, don't.
Rear naked chokehold.
Stop, let me go, yo.
Okay, I thought so. It's like the entire album can't just be, okay, here's a simple death of Slim Shady. Like they probably struggle back and forth. There's a lot of different songs. So maybe Eminem struggles through a lot of it, but then you actually see where the tables turn and Eminem is able to kill Slim Shady. It's also funny because it seems that the character of Slim Shady is the one who just doesn't really play by the rules and doesn't really care about what is fair. But Eminem was actually the one who was able to trick Slim Shady or lure him in to untying him. And then Eminem was the one who didn't play fair because he immediately grabs a gun and overtakes Slim.
Stop, let me go, yo. Here, take it, bozo. Yeah, queer bait, you homo.
Ready?
Yo, don't shoot.
Here we go.
Bro, no.
Now say you're sorry.
Ow.
You didn't mean any of it.
I'm sorry, Marshall's a pussy. He's Dre and Jimmy's puppet. Sorry, he...
Okay, now apologize. One, that wouldn't mean anything because he's openly showing that he's only going to apologize because Marshall's holding a gun to his head. So it's already kind of funny because he's making it very obvious as a character with his own creative choice to make it clear that it wouldn't be a real apology anyways because he's holding a gun to his head. But even with a gun to his head, Slim still doesn't apologize. He still has internal turmoil with himself with this like battle of saying, yeah, no, I'm actually sorry that Marshall's just... and he's Dre and Jimmy's puppet. Like calling him out. So it's sad to actually think about this entire thing of Eminem's had those thoughts. He's at least had those thoughts because someone said them to him before and he's like, do I come off that way? Am I? I mean, I know he has so much love for at least Dr. Dre. Obviously probably Jimmy too. But it's interesting to see that, yeah, but maybe he's struggled with those thoughts before because they're coming out in the song.
Dre and Jimmy's puppet. Sorry, he gives a fuck, but pretends he doesn't.
Alright, you piece of shit, that does it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Wait,
bitch, this is for him. Christopher MGK, nicking for Limp Bizkit and them midgets and Ben.
Man, please.
Zeno in addition to him. Will Smith in the cannabis. If you're listening, this is the end.
Okay.
It's interesting because you can see why he would probably say, hey, I just want to make sure that all of this seems like a bit, it's not that serious. Maybe not like apologizing, but kind of having some type of peace be created. But he even said MGK, which is interesting or shocking to me because I would get it with some people that he regards as legends and people above him because he just probably wants to make sure the slate's clean. And yeah, I'm going to do things for like a bit. It's entertainment. I was mad, whatever it was for the moment. But, you know, I don't mean that. But with that, it's like, wait, did you not mean that either? Did you not mean anything? I also find it interesting that Slim Shady instead did call him out for saying, I'm sorry that Marshall cares and pretends he doesn't. His whole shtick is pretending that he doesn't care, but he does actually deep down. Like, he feels guilty for a lot of this stuff that he thinks that he might have caused or influenced.
Okay,
So
I'll
to
stop.
Jamar and Ja Rule and to all my feuds, including mine,
What?
I'm welcoming you to my
No.
last hurrah. I bid you goodbye.
Come on, man, don't do
Murder,
this, but-
suicide, kill shot, booyakah, cocksucker, coup de grace, motherfucker.
I mean, clearly the imagery is of him killing someone and then killing himself because that's a murder-suicide. But because it's Eminem and not literally Marshall and Slim Shady, you just imagine him killing himself because that would be a murder-suicide.
Yeah.
Paul, you're not gonna fucking believe this, bro. I had this dream. It was fucking crazy. It was like the old me came back on the new me and took over my brain and had me saying all this fucked up shit about little people and Caitlyn Jenner and PC police were chasing me and fucking Gen Z was trying to kill me and quadriplegics and Christopher Reeves and I was saying all this fucked up shit and I couldn't stop saying it. And then I'd wake up and it was like I was still dreaming. Fuck you. Wait.
The laugh at the end of the phone call, too, made me think more of Slim Shady rather than Eminem. So maybe it's a reach, but I'm also kind of imagining it's Slim Shady who actually woke up and M's still in the dream. And so he called this guy just to kind of see if he could get away with acting like he's M and he's scared. This is why he's acting different. But it's actually Slim Shady. Slim Shady is taking over. This is him taking over. And he's making everybody believe that it's Eminem who even wrote this album because it's the death of Slim Shady. He finally got rid of him. But actually this entire time it's Slim Shady taking over Eminem and Slim Shady's back. It's the death of Eminem, but he's pretending that he's Eminem, so it's the death of Slim Shady. I don't know, now it's like this interperson, it's really probably not that deep, but the little laugh at the end makes me think, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I just had to think about it for a second because I was thinking, oh, okay, the whole song was a dream, but this song isn't really a standalone thing, it's the whole album, that's the point. I know people are very, you have to listen to it in order, and I know that's serious, but I guess that would be why this entire album is a dream. Like, none of this actually happened. He just had a dream about how his old self, which is how he actually said it, he didn't say Slim Shady, he said his old self was like making him say all of these things, and he kind of came back, and it really freaked him out because he became the person that he didn't want to be anymore. And even this guy is just sick of him. He just hung up on him. He's like, I don't even care. Like, I don't even want to hear about this. But yeah, I am sorry if this one felt a little bit more rushed because I feel like it's a shorter reaction. It's a much longer song. So I do apologize. I didn't mean to. I feel like I'm a little bit behind on these reactions, and I'm just trying different paces for different ones. So I hope that it still came out okay and you guys liked it. Let me know down in the comments below if I did miss anything because I don't understand every reference, and I'm sure the second or third time you just pick up more from the song. It's a genuine first time reaction, so there's probably a lot that I missed. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you check out all my other links, including my Twitch and my Patreon, and I'll see you all next time.